They say that from the ashes a phoenix can rise, but all I saw in the smoldering ruins of my life was the end. My name is David, and I was once a master craftsman, a luthier who coaxed life from wood, turning silent maple and spruce into violins that could sing. My workshop was my sanctuary, a place filled with the scent of sawdust and varnish, where every tool had a story and every shaving on the floor was a note in a grand symphony of creation. Then came the fire. It consumed everything in a single merciless night. My templates, my finished instruments, and with them, my spirit. In the gray dawn that followed, I stood before the wreckage, a hollow man staring at a hollowed-out dream. The world felt silent, and the easiest thing to do was to let that silence swallow me whole. For weeks I was a ghost, haunting the edges of my own life. Procrastination became my closest companion, whispering that it was too hard, too late, too much to even begin again. The weight of my loss was a physical thing, pressing down on me, urging me to simply give up. But one morning, sifting through the blackened debris, my fingers closed around a single, half-charred block of curly maple. It was ugly, scarred, and yet deep within its grain. I could still feel a faint echo of potential, a whisper of a song not yet sung. In that moment, a flicker of defiance sparked within me. Was this not the ultimate challenge? An opportunity not to rebuild what was, but to create something new from the very heart of my suffering. That piece of wood became my first step. The path back was a brutal climb. I had no workshop, few tools, and even less money. The price of this new beginning was paid in the currency of failure and sweat. My hands, once skilled and steady, were now clumsy with grief, and my first attempts were disasters. I made mistakes. I shed tears of frustration that mingled with the sawdust, and I nearly surrendered to despair 100 times. But with each failure I learned. I discovered that the fire-scarred maple, which I once would have discarded, possessed a resilience and a character unlike any pristine wood. I learned to see the flaws not as imperfections, but as testaments to survival. This was the first lesson adversity taught me. Challenges are not barriers. They are the very tools that shape us into something stronger. I became strict with myself, rising before the sun, forcing my body to move, my hands to work. I chose honesty and integrity in my craft, pouring not just my skill, but my entire story, the pain, the loss, the flickering hope pinned to that single violin. I was turning the bad into good, the evil of the fire into the kindness of music, powered by nothing more than a stubborn will and the love for what I did. I was no longer just building an instrument. I was forging a new soul for myself, one that accepted adversity and used it as fuel. The lonely nights, the aching muscles, the constant doubt, it was all practice. I fell, I got up, and I kept practicing. Finally, the day came when the violin was complete. Its surface was a map of its history with dark, beautiful scars running through the golden varnish. When I drew the bow across its strings for the first time, the sound that emerged was unlike anything I had ever heard. It was a voice filled with the sorrow of loss, but underscored by a powerful, soaring note of triumph. It was the sound of resilience. My creation, born from ruin, was not just a success. It was a testament. It was proof that with determination, courage, and perseverance, nothing is impossible. That violin found its way into the hands of a young prodigy, and its unique voice captivated audiences. My story began to be told, not as a tragedy, but as an inspiration. My actions attracted good things offers to help rebuild, commissions from those who wanted an instrument with a soul. I learned that the only path to growth is to stand up and overcome all pain, all loneliness, all despair. Don't waste a single moment. Live a life of meaning, a life of passion. You hold within you an extraordinary power to turn your deepest wounds into your greatest strengths. So stand up, act now. Awaken the extraordinary person waiting within you, and let your life become its own beautiful, resilient song.